June 30th, 2021. This is when the Lakers first were rumored to be attracted to the idea of trading for Russell Westbrook. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and even Russell Westbrook had a dinner to discuss the idea of playing with each other. Before all of this, the Lakers were struggling to get over the hump to get back to where they were in 2020 when they won the NBA Finals. They were just beaten by the Suns in the playoffs after a hard season where AD and LeBron missed countless of games. And around that time, they were just looking for a person that can get them over the hump. July 29, 2021, the Lakers made the trade that will send Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and Montrezl Harrell in a first to the Wizards in exchange for Russell Westbrook in 2 seconds. Now, I remember my initial thought as a Lakers fan. I thought it should have been Buddy Hield and Terrence Davis because at that time, that's what we were rumored to get. The Russell Westbrook idea didn't come till about a couple days before we made the trade. And also at that time, I knew what Rob Pelinka didn't know, and that's that we didn't need to name chase to win. But we did. And I can't lie, I was excited. Russell Westbrook is one of the best players I've seen and one of the best players of all time, playing next to two other players that are also two of the best players of all time. So I just thought, what can go wrong? Everything did. The 2021-2022 season was one to forget for a Lakers fan. Anthony Davis, for the second year in a row, missed more games than he played, and LeBron, while being 37 but still averaging 30 plus, also missed a big chunk of games. In that trade, I don't think Rob Pelinka realized what he was giving up. It was essentially half of our team or half of our key pieces that he was giving up in Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and Montrezl Harrell. He had to do that because Russ himself cost $47 million, and that made the money match. So while doing that, we had no depth. So we were losing a lot of games even when we were fully healthy because we just had nobody coming off the bench other than Melo, who actually played pretty decent the whole season. But other than that, we were like pretty screwed off the bench. But now we get to Russell Westbrook. Now, if you look at Russ stats, he had a pretty decent season, averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, played 78 out of the 82 games. He was by far our most consistent player. But if you actually watch the games, it was pretty fucking hard to watch. I mean, multiple airball threes, multiple side of the backboard shots, multiple turnovers, multiple dumb shots, multiple missed layups, and terrible, some of the worst defense I've ever seen. But it's hard to put it all on him because if you watch the basketball games that we played, you know it was just we didn't have a good enough team around him. And you also know only a certain few can play with LeBron, and he just doesn't fit that certain few. And we know that. Like people that watch basketball, we knew that coming in. We knew that trade should have never been made, but our own GM or our head of basketball operations doesn't fucking watch basketball. Doesn't understand. He's only in there for one reason, which we won't speak about. But yeah, he didn't know that. That's why we made that trade. So we ended up missing the playoffs. Not even just the playoffs. We missed the play-in. We finished behind DeJounte and the guys. Like, DeJounte and fucking nobody. That's what we finished behind. So, going into this 2022-2023 season, us Lakers fans knew several changes had to be made, and we were just underwhelmed that we knew that we weren't going to make a lot of changes. We knew we were set with this roster because with LeBron making $40 million, Anthony Davis making close to $40 million, Russell Westbrook making $47 million, it was just no changes to be made. Lakers started off good though, using Frank Vogel as a scapegoat for all our front office mistakes and firing him for them building the worst Lakers team since Marcus Hoytis was our starting point guard. But weeks later, we ended up hiring Darvin Ham. Didn't know a lot about him, but I did know that he was a huge part of the Milwaukee Bucks coaching staff. The players loved him. That's one thing we didn't have last season. I don't think our players even fucking cared about Frank Vogel. So having a coach that was kind of a player's coach, but also didn't stand with no bullshit. As I watched a couple Bucks All Access plays, All Access videos, and he was like really cool with Bobby Portis and Giannis. That's cool, and that's something that I look forward to going into this season because I felt like this is the first time since we fucking had Byron Scott, since we had a coach that understood our players and listened to our players. So I was excited for that. Then for the rest of the summer, it was all about getting rid of Russ. But little did they know, and when I say they, I'm meaning Rob Pelinka and his crew. Little did they know that nobody wants an aging Russell Westbrook who cost $47 million and just had one of the most comical seasons we've seen since prime Andre Drummond. So what happens next? Well, we're going into this year with an essentially worse team than we had last year because we can't sign anyone. Our best signing was Juan Toscano Anderson. That shows you how down bad we are. But you get fools like me who thought maybe it might work. AD and LeBron, also with Russell Westbrook, didn't really get time to gel. We got Patrick Beverley. That's a good signing. And they're all 3 Hall of Fame players, so maybe down the line they get it together and then we start winning some games. But I was so wrong, bro. We started off 0-5, and most of the time Russ was still trash. But not only Russ, LeBron was pretty bad, and it finally looked like Father Time was catching up to him. And our team was just bad overall. Other than AD, Anthony Davis so far has been freaking amazing. And other than that, it's just been our team has been freaking terrible. Lonnie Walker can't shoot. Y'all all know our problems. It's been made a heavy thing by the media that nobody on our team can shoot. We've signed a dude that was working DoorDash last season. He's our best shooter, and he only shoots 2 threes a game. So starting off, it looks terrible, and a lot of people are like, oh, they're tanking for Victor. Motherfucker, we don't even have our pick. It goes to the Pelicans. Like, it's just starting off pretty terrible. And it even got to a point where Russ was playing so terrible that me, and not only just me, one of his so-called close friends, Kendrick Perkins, even said on First Take that this might be Russ's last, not only year, but last job in the NBA. Because if he can't accept the role coming off the bench, he's not good enough to be a starter no more. So he just won't be good enough to play in the NBA. And that's what it looked like. It definitely looked like that. Russ was playing freaking terrible, and that's off last year. Nobody wants to take on his $47 million. That's why he's still a Laker. So it just looked like it was the beginning of the end for Russell Westbrook. And then Darvin Ham made the ballsy move of bringing Russell Westbrook off the bench. Now, Vogel, our last year's coach, also thought about bringing Russ off the bench, but he didn't have the relationship with Russell Westbrook for Russell Westbrook to even trust him with bringing him off the bench. So what I can say, since day one, Darvin Ham's main priority was to fix Russell Westbrook and to also build a relationship with Russell Westbrook. And it has worked for this exact moment. Russ has been a 6th man for this team for the last 6 games, and I would say he's been our best player sort of by far. The first game Russ came off the bench, he was really energetic and exciting, but we still ended up losing. But the game after that against the Nuggets, where no one expected us to win, Russ was our best player on the floor, and damn near he was the best player on both teams that night. It even got to a point where the fans that were booing at Russell Westbrook and yelling at him to pass the ball every time he got it were screaming, we have since went 2-3 in the last 5, but no one can put any of the games that we lost on Russell Westbrook anymore. He has changed his game, and a man that has been named top 75 of all time and an MVP of the league has swallowed his pride and is coming off the bench for this team, and we have looked completely better ever since. It is one thing for Darvin to putting him on the bench, but Russell also has to show up, and he has. He's been averaging 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 45% from the 3 on 4 attempts. So not only did Darvin put him on the bench, but Russell Westbrook has shown up, and the lights is not too bright for Russell Westbrook ever, and now he's helping us win games. It's definitely going to hurt, though, when we have to trade him, because over these last 5 games, he's became one of my favorite Lakers of all time. The attitude, the charisma he has, he's just a legend and a superstar, and you can see the impact that he has not only on the team, but the younger guys and the fans. Like, he's just a icon for LA, man. He grew up in LA, so to see him finally hooping for the team that he grew up watching is just fun to watch. And I hope he's a Laker for the rest of his career, because over these last 5 games, it might be overreaction. Like, he can come out and play for shit for the rest of the year, but like, these last 5 games has been real and impactful for Russell Westbrook, and I know he's turned a lot of Lakers fans that once hated him into huge fans. So this would not have been a thing if it wasn't for Darvin Ham having a really good relationship with him, and then kind of engraving in his mind that his best option for him as of right now is to come off the bench. So that ends it for this video. Let me know if you want any more content. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace out. A lot of editing. Let's get straight into this shit, man.